UFC Fight Night Vallejos versus Emmett has taken place and gone by, and if you're wondering why I'm so late, it's because I have moved. I'm now in a new house, but y'all don't care. Let's go ahead and get into the video. This was actually a really good card. It's definitely delivered. Like I said it would. The names obviously weren't the greatest, but let's go ahead. Is this glitched? Hold on, let me refresh this because it's saying they both got wins. I mean, I know who won, but like, I want to make sure this is right. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the early prelim opener of Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. I picked Piera Rodriguez to win. I said she was just going to be a step ahead in the grappling and the striking because she's small. She can get on the inside and frame up against her opponents. Sorry, I just set up my whole desk and my computer, so it's taking a minute to warm up. Yeah, like I said, over the 3 rounds, I mean, Piera Rodriguez, the more aggressive fighter, she was trying to get her takedown. She was denying all of Sam Hughes. She was landing more aggressively on the feet and with more power. By the end of it, both women were, like, battered, but still great rounds. Piera Rodriguez gets it done. So I got it right. Let's go ahead and move on. I mean, there's nothing crazy to talk about there. Luan Lacerda versus Hector Sosa. This was actually a decent matchup. This was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Dude, if this page refreshes one more time on me, I'm going to crash out. Luan Lacerda versus Hector Sosa. Hector Sosa gets it done by decision. A lot of people were claiming robbery in a bit of a sense, but I think it's warranted. I mean, sure, the takedowns of Lacerda were good, but Sosa didn't take too much damage. He was able to get up quickly, and he was putting it on Lacerda. I think he hurt him at one point. I don't know if he dropped him. No, he didn't drop him, but he had a really good fight against him. I think they scored at 30-27 or 29-28. He was just keeping range. I mean, this was a scrap from round 1. These guys were both going for it. Like, neither guy was, like, being careful here. Caution to the wind. Sosa was kind of building for a finish there in the late second round, I think, or the middle of the third round. But Luan Lacerda was able to circle out, keep his guard high, not take damage, and he managed to survive, but it wasn't enough to get the win. He landed a takedown. No, he didn't. I'm thinking of another fight. But Hector Sosa gets it done over 3 rounds. We got that right. 2-0 to start the card. Not bad. We move on to Bia Mesquita versus Montserrat Hendon. I said Bia Mesquita would get it done. Probably by decision, but she got it done by first round submission. I can't remember the exact sequence, but she found her way to the back of Montserrat Hendon and was able to get the rear naked choke with ease. 2 minutes into the first round. Barely, I mean, she was beating her ass for a second there. Her opponent got 0 strikes off, 0 takedown attempts. I don't know why she would even try one. She just got dominated. Bia Mesquita is a problem in this division. She's actually using her jiu-jitsu credentials in a positive way when it comes to MMA. And I'm really excited to see what she does in the women's bantamweight division, but great win for her. We go 3-0. Let's move on. 2. Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. This was a scrap. Both these guys were going for it. Both had almost finishing moments. Okay, this website's just tweaking and it keeps going back to Lemos Robertson. But Eric Anders versus Brad Tavares was a scrap. First round, Eric Anders was looking good. Eric Anders was definitely winning the fight the whole time. He was putting momentum on Tavares, but Tavares cracked him at one point after Anders just kept getting sloppy coming forward and dropped him and almost finished the fight then and there, but Anders was able to survive, use his takedowns, and find his way to success. Obviously, these stats aren't loading, so my brain's blanking. But yeah, Eric Anders in the 3rd round was putting it on Tavares, landing big shots, hurting him, using his grappling when he needed to, and he was able to get the win. Nothing crazy. It was a classy Anders performance, and he went on to retire that night. I think Tavares might have retired too. I'm not sure. I think I saw a tweet about that. But still, great one for Eric Anders. We get another one right. I believe we're 4-0 to start the card. We move on to Balajiaki versus Manuel Souza. So Balajiaki, I don't know why I'm struggling so much. Sorry. Moving these past 2 days, my brain is fried. Balajiaki comes out looking mean for this walkout, and the ending of this fight made it that much funnier, but this was a very competitive fight. Don't get it twisted. I mean, Souza was, like, probably going to win regardless, but, I mean, Balajiaki was really landing more than Sosa, especially in round 1 and round 2. He came out strong, was getting takedowns, and Manuel Souza was predicted to get, like, a first-round KO, so obviously he was facing a bit of adversity there, but his power was not to be questioned. He was hurting Balajiaki. Giaki was just kind of landing and surviving in a way. It knocks him down twice in round 1, doesn't get a knockdown in round 3. Or he gets a knockdown in round 3, I meant round 2, sorry. But round 3 comes, and they're in the sequence where they're kind of tired. They break, they go to re-enter the pocket, and Balajiaki is tired. He's kind of framing. And what Sosa does is grab that frame and start feinting. And Balajiaki, I get he's tired, but it's so low-level striking defense. Just kind of just like, like just kind of like tucking away while his arm that is supposed to be here is being pulled And Sosa catches it, feints, bing, puts it straight right down the pipe, sleeps Balagiaki out cold. Great win for Eric Anders. We go, not Eric Anders, sorry, great win for Manuel Souza. We go 5-0 to start the card. We did really good on this card. We move on to Elijah Smith versus So-Young Yu. This was a good scrap, man. I mean, So-Young Yu, he makes it competitive. He was outlanding him, at least with total strikes, I guess. He was definitely going for a grappling game within this fight. He wanted none of that on the feet, and it was obvious. I mean, Elijah Smith, I think, knocked him down at one point in the second round. I mean, he survived the onslaught of So-Young Yu is what I had to say here. I mean, he was trying to land his takedown to take some of the pop out of Smith's shot, like I said he would in the prediction video. They were both kind of, and both kind of going even on the feet, But come round 2, Elijah Smith was able to put damage on So-Young Yu, knocks him down, and while chasing the knockdown is able to find a submission. I can't quite remember if it was a rear naked or a Dars. It was something like that, but he found a very good submission, locked it up, and So-Young Yu was forced to tap. We got it right. Great one for Elijah Smith. He's good, man. He's going to be something in the bantamweight division. He's aggressive. He's lanky, so he can strike, but he's got nasty ground game, and I'm excited to see what he does in the division. So we're 6-0 right now, something like that. Let's move on to our first loss of the card, but this wasn't really a loss. This was a really close fight, I'll be honest. But Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. Ass was plundered, in my opinion. This was a close fight. Maybe Asplund cuts easy, but he definitely wore a lot of damage on his face. He had multiple cuts, swollen eye sockets, and stuff. But, dude, he dropped Petrino and almost finished him in round 1 and was outstriking him, I think, over, was it round 2 or round 3? Oh, I guess he was getting outstruck the whole time in those rounds. This was close, and he was landing good, but Petrino was backing up, and I felt like the forward pressure of Asplund, plus almost killing him in round 1, might have gotten him the nod, but it is what it is. Petrino's never going to be a champion. The guy got subbed by Anthony Smith via Gilly, which makes Asplund not look good. But I'm still an Asplund fan. He is still my boy. I'm going to root for him, probably pick him in his next fight unless they give him something stupid. Yeah, man. I mean, Titty showed out. He had high output, took damage. He was emoting. He rocks him in round 1 and, pretends to moon him. And I thought that was funny. I wasn't mad at him, go for the finish. He's a fun guy. I mean, he's just there to scrap. I think he knows he might never be champion. He's just there to make money, have a good time. He used to be a fat guy, so this is probably fun to do, be able to use your body in an athletic way. But Vitor Petrino gets it done, kind of backing up, didn't really put a mark on the fight. He was landing big shots, cutting him open, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. I think I'm just a bit salty by the Asplund loss, but we'll go ahead and move on. 6-1 to Chris Curtis versus Maitekbek Oroblai. We predicted this. We said Oroblai was too aggressive. We said Oroblai had the striking. We said he had the takedowns. This guy set a takedown record at the welterweight division. And that has GSP, bro. In one fight, 19 takedowns. He had more takedowns than there were minutes in the fight. Absolutely insane. It wouldn't be a Chris Curtis fight without him complaining to the ref. But Oroblai just did it, man. From the beginning, from the opening bell, he was on Chris Curtis. It was a bit of a snooze fest in a sense because he wasn't really getting a finish. I mean, Chris Curtis is very hard to finish. He's very defensively sound submission and ground and pound wise. But Oroblai not being able to find a submission or a TKO after having 19 takedowns and majority control time, it's a bit disappointing. It's a bit of a snooze fest. It's a bit of the Dagestani method. But he was dominant, so I'll give him credit for that. I hope in his next fight he puts a bit more on the feet. But he said he'll probably do more grappling. It is what it is. Chris Curtis probably should retire, man. He went down for this one, and Oroblai went up, I think. And he still lost to a 2-division lighter man. Granted, they met at the same weight class, but lighter man skill shows up, man. And Chris Curtis has never really been a cream of the crop. I understand he's friends with Sean Strickland, but Strickland's in a league of his own. Great win for Maitekbek Oroblai. He gets it done. We predicted this. We move on to the main card, Charles Johnson versus Bruno Silva. This was a split decision, but I thought Charles Johnson arguably won all the rounds. Granted, the first round was kind of a tough opening for him. He was getting pushed up against the cage. He couldn't find his rhythm. Bruno Silva was moving really weird, hitting him with shots, threatening the grappling, and Charles Johnson's coming off the first ever KO loss of his career, so no doubt he's a bit timid, a bit gun-shy, doesn't want to really overextend and get slept again after that loss to, oh my god, who was it? I can't remember, but it is what it is. Yeah, first round, very close on the feet. Charles Johnson narrowly outstriking Bruno Silva. I think people were probably picking Silva that round because of the grappling, because of the pressure, but he didn't get any takedowns. And pressure doesn't really count too much unless you're putting damage or your opponent straight up running. Come round 2, more or less the same. Bruno's not able to get any of his own takedowns off, and Charles Johnson is starting to up the pace with his strikes. He's finding himself again. Round 3, cherry on top. Bruno could not get his takedowns, and he was just getting outdone by a little bit each round. It's unfortunate, but it is not a robbery, and it is not a split decision, to be honest. Great win for Charles Johnson. Energy is back in the win column. Hopefully he got his confidence back. I know he's feeling a bit scared after that knockout loss, but we got it right. 7-1. Or that, hold on, that might have been 7-1, 8-1. We move on to another loss on the card. Ion Cutelaba versus Umar Sy. Umar Sy is a can. I will never pick him again. He is a fraud. But Ion Cutelaba is also just a white, heavier Michael Johnson. The dude could lose to, he could lose to a can. I can't remember all of his losses, but he could lose to a can and then beat Pereira on any given day. And that's what happened here. I mean, first round, if you can't handle the storm of Cutelaba in the first round, that's it. Because if you can survive that, you have a good odds to beat him by decision. I don't know about finish him. But first round, Cutelaba is always a storm. He comes out swinging, and that's what he did here. He put it on Umar Sy. I think he hurt Umar Sy, or Umar might have shot a shitty takedown. I think he hurt him. And he got him in kind of a front headlock position, and he was able to latch up the arm and guillotine. And as he switched to a mounted position, Umar Sy put in no defensive effort. He didn't push on the hips. He wasn't kipping. He wasn't pulling on the hand. He just tapped immediately. It's a bit pathetic, and I don't know if I'll ever pick him again. It's a bit French of him, if I must say. But a great win for Ion Cutelaba. I am a Cutelaba fan. I wanted him to win this. I just didn't think he would. So a great one for Cutelaba. Unfortunately, we did get it wrong, so I think that puts us at 8-2. We move on to Rahiki versus Hardwick. This should have been fight of the night if it wasn't, because Hardwick is a G, man. My cat is doing some stupid stuff. Hardwick's a G, man. I'm a huge fan of him. He's got some funny losses in the UFC, I'll be honest. Leg kick, TKO, and a broken jaw. Rahiki is a demon, though. But Hardwick was managing to stay in there through the end of round 2, and he had to call it between the rounds, which we didn't see because Paramount had to play commercials over that. Let that be known. Shame on you, Paramount. So round 1, it's close, it's competitive, but Rahiki's definitely landing the bigger shots and putting more damage on Hardwick. Hardwick is kind of looking like he's prime Chuck Liddell, just chewing his lip, just making all sorts of weird faces while he's fighting. That was messed up. I'm just making fun of how he looks. But come round 2, I mean, Rahiki just really starts to find his timing, find his distance, puts power punches on Hardwick. Little cat cameo, that's Onyx, he's fat. And Hardwick at one point kind of gets hit with one big shot, stands there, and he didn't slip with it. And dude, Rahiki just bang, shoots his jaw. There's like a freeze frame photo of it, of his jaw like discombobulating, like disconnecting from itself. And this wasn't like a Colby, like, oh, my jaw is fractured down the side. This was like hanging off, and the only reason his jaw wasn't over here is because there's a bunch of flesh that holds things in place. The bone had completely just... So, tough loss for Harry Hardwick. The dude should stick around in the UFC. Rahiki is a crazy undefeated prospect. I think he's 8-0 after this fight. The dude is very good. Hardwick is a Chad. He's going to go forward. He's going to try to get the win until you have to kill him to get him out of there. The leg kicks, he couldn't stand, but with the jaw, you can't keep fighting. Like, you literally will never be able to talk again. So, Hardwick has to call the fight. You know, he's a warrior. No man should go out there for a third round in that. And I respect Hardwick, but Rahiki's he's a phenom, man. And I can't wait to see what he does in featherweight. Obviously, Hardwick, we don't know if he's just not that good, but I'm going to assume he's good. Therefore, Rahiki is very good. So, great one for Rahiki. We got that right. I'm going to stop counting. I'm going to tally it up on the end. We move on to Andre Fili versus Jose Miguel Delgado. Do they low-key rob Fili? Sorta. I don't think so. Did Delgado win and he was my pick? Yes. Round 1, Andre Fili is a really good round. You know, he's outstriking him. I take that back. I was thinking round 2. Round 1's close, man. Jose Delgado's outstriking him. Andre Fili's able to get a takedown, but I think Delgado got up. He was landing the bigger shots. Fili, you know, is a veteran, is able to hide, you know, kind of has that poker face. But it was round 2. Was it? No. Are these stats not populating? No. It was round 1. Round 1, I swear to God, Andre Fili knocked down Jose Miguel Delgado. That might have been in round 2 and almost had him out of there. I don't know why it's not here. I swear it was a knockdown. Maybe he stumbled him. But here's what happened. I think it was the first or second round. They were having a close competitive fight. Delgado was getting sloppy, and Fili caught him bad. Hurt him. Almost put him out of there. I think they ended up on the ground at one point. Might have not. Anyway, Delgado survives and goes on to outland Andre Fili over the next 2 rounds or 3 rounds. And a lot of people are saying robbery, but no, look at the numbers, man. Round 3, Delgado's outstriking him even with a significant amount. Andre Fili didn't do too much with the takedown. One of those takedowns was at the very end of the fight. That adds nothing. A takedown does not mean anything unless it has control time and or damage. Round 2, the same thing. They went 1 for 1 on takedowns. Granted, the reversal was on Fili's side, but he was significantly outstriking him. You know, it is what it is. So I think Jose Miguel Delgado deserved that win. I think he got that win, and I think Fili just didn't do enough. It's unfortunate. I'm a fan of him. He's a veteran of the game, but Delgado's a rising guy. Obviously, we didn't see the best performance out of him. Getting dropped by Fili's kind of in big 2026, but a great win for Delgado nonetheless, and we got our pick right. We move on to the co-main. Jesus Christ. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. We got this one right, man. Jillian Robertson was just going to outdo her. Now, a lot of people were saying that Lemos was going to destroy her if it stayed on the feet. Checkmate. Bismillah. But don't get me wrong. The significant strikes are on Lemos. Like, Jillian Robertson can't strike. If she's stuck on the feet in any of her next fights, she's done for, I think. But on the ground, she's a phenom, man. She was, trying to get her takedowns off from right at the beginning of the round. She was able to get 1 of 2. She was definitely losing on the feet, but when she got the takedown, I think this might have been when Lemos went for a guillotine attempt, and Robertson was able to reverse it or just kind of defend the submission and get in a, better position. And it was just kind of the same story every round. I mean, I guess she picked up the striking momentum as the fight went on. I didn't really remember this fight too well. Sorry if I'm stuttering here. But she was able to find the takedown once around, and I'm sure she controlled her for the rest of the round there. Lemos does not have a great get-up defense. She's kind of frail on bottom position. I'm sure Robertson was landing big shots. Nothing to put away Lemos or get her really in danger or concerned. But over 3 rounds, she just got it done. I think 29-28 it was for Jillian Robertson. But we got our pick right. Let's go ahead and move on to the main event because we won. We knocked out Josh Emmett in round 1, like my prediction video said. I might not have said round 1, but I said we would KO Emmett. God, this was quick, man. Vallejos didn't even get hit. He barely got touched. 3 shots. So they were just kind of exchanging. Vallejos was definitely using the jab. He was peppering him, putting it on him. And it was just a sequence, man. 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the fight, they enter the pocket where they both kind of go for shots, and it was almost like Luke Riley against Bogdan Grad, where as they're leaving the pocket, one guy's just not throwing, and he's like a little sloppy with the defense, and the other guy's looking for that hook on the exit, and Vallejos was the guy looking for that hook. Lands the hook on Emmett, drops him bad, chases him. Emmett's kind of back up on his feet. Vallejos is kneeing him up against the cage, hits him with another big shot, puts him down, ground and pound. Finishes Josh Emmett in round 1. He did what Topuria could not do. Granted, the damage probably accumulated over his career, but still, we knocked out Josh Emmett in round 1. I predicted this. Featherweight, you have an Ilia Topuria now. Dude, it was such a quick fight. That's all I can say. Great win for Kevin Vallejos. Absolutely amazing win for Kevin Vallejos. We predicted this. It was kind of annoying hearing every single person in the UFC have their different take on who could pronounce Vallejos the more accurate. It was Vallejos, then it's Vallejos, then it's Vallejos, then it's Vallejos or something. I don't know, man. It's just like, guys, he's Argentinian. He's not like my Tech Beck oral by where you have to get that right, I'm just kind of waffling here. That was confusing me because they really make an effort to let you know that they can pronounce it. It's also because I've been seeing those TikToks about that guy who's like the guy who overpronounces the food things and everything. But I'm kind of rambling here. A great one for Kevin Vallejos. He's a problem, man. He's a future title contender, and he's probably a future champion. We are coming for the Gene Silva rematch, and we will knock out Gene Silva in round 2 in our rematch. Great one for Kevin Vallejos. Tough for Josh Emmett. I think he needs to retire. He's taken a lot of damage. Obviously, he could stick around and be a gatekeeper, but what's the point, man? You've taken damage. I'm sure he's well off. I'm sure he's made a lot of money. He was a former interim champion, title challenger. Yeah, heartbreaking for Emmett, but we got to win. We will be back. We will KO Silva, and great win for us. Yeah, see ya.